Hi, this is Trey with Straight Ahead Samples. I've got Tenor Colossus open. I want to talk about note lengths and different kinds of playing styles. Um, as I've said many times, we recorded all these new standard instruments in real time. They're basically playing a piece of music, and so we have all these kind of different, subtle, different ways of playing the same phrases, um, and we're pulling samples out of those performances. So I wanted to talk about legato and the tongued articulation and the two staccato samples and different ways you can use them. So I've got Tenor Colossus open here. So if I'm in real time, there's not a whole lot of difference between legato and tongued. But if we just let's just click it over to the smart delay. And the basic difference, legato, if you can think of legato as being all in one breath, that's not always the case, but often it's just all one continuous stream of air. So, right, so all one thing. If I go over to tongued here, so this is going to be each note, the tongue is going to go back on the mouthpiece and re-articulate. Da 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 da, more of a da 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 instead of a la da da da, right? So just those are, both are cool things, and you can try them in different kinds of phrases. If I want more of an articulated sound, I might turn the velocity way up and play. Da 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 da. It's a much different sound than legato. If I was to slur all those with legato, right? You're still hearing the break across the saxophone, and it's kind of cool, but you get a little more of the overtones in the legato because the continuous stream of air. So yeah, try them in different contexts. It can be. In more of like riff-based things, I might use the tongued samples. Obviously, melodic stuff, you're going to use the legato, and anything kind of quick, you'll have to use legato because it's hard to tongue a bunch of things. So that's legato and tongue. And then we have our staccato articulations, which are close. They're just slightly shorter. I mean, really. One thing I wanted to show was if we play a phrase here, there's another way you can use long notes and short notes. So let's make it legato. We're just going to record something. Okay, whatever that is. Just some kind of stream of notes here. So the way the legato works is that if they're overlapping or close to overlap, they actually don't have to quite overlap. So these are all good. So that's playing legato. If we hear it in smart delay. Yeah, it's kind of hard with the mod wheel all the way up. A little bit intense. But you don't have to necessarily trigger the staccato sample to get a short note. So if we want these disconnected, if I want to go so I want this tongued, I want this shorter. If I just pull it over, you get a little bit of a disconnected. Right, so that's a way to get yourself short notes easily without having to change the articulation. So like if I wanted some of these short in this phrase, I might just do that. So you hear that, as some of them are now staccato. It's triggering a totally different sample. It's not just shortening that. So here it is, all legato. Right, one stream of air. And then if I could just pull these two, let's do all three of these. So it'll be a run of short notes and then legato again. Right? So it just makes it. I like it because it just allows for less key switches, right? So it just I want that note short. Sometimes I play it in live and I realize, oh, I should disconnect that. Um, a lot of times before a leap or something, if I was to play, a line of notes and then jump up, sometimes that note right before, like let's just do that just so you can kind of hear that. It's kind of a cool. So if I was to go, right, so legato, all legato, right? That's fine, but just because when you leap to something, often you'll articulate it harder. So you would want this note to be short. So if I do that, don't do it like that. That's why. It's annoying. That to me just sounds so much more real than this. You wouldn't. Right? Something about that seems awkward. So generally when people leap to and from notes, they're going to make the note before it's shorter. Right? And even maybe make that note forte piano, which is this sample here. E. So if I made that forte piano, so this is legato, forte piano. Right, so that's very natural sounding. Depends on the style of music, obviously, but a lot of times messing with the length of the note and then adding little things like that is gonna do a lot. So try that out. So legato, tongued samples, that key switch might get ignored, but it can be a really cool, different flavor, a little more articulated. And then play around with the different short notes. Oh, I should mention the staccato. When you pull the sample over like this, you're only going to really get one layer of staccatos. The key switch, if you go to the key switch, you're going to get round robins. So, right, those are all different notes. If you leave it on legato and just pull the note over, you're going to be getting only one in a row. So you might get some machine gun effect if you had the same note back to back. So I would suggest if you have a string of short notes, switching over to the staccato or staccatissimo is going to give you a little more control and just a little more realism. But for just playing a phrase in and realizing, oh, that should be disconnected, let me just pull it over. It makes a nice difference, and it's really easy. And just to say it out loud, we're looking at Tenor Colossus here, but all the new standard instruments are recorded and mapped the same way. So for now, that's just Birth of the Trumpet and Tenor Colossus, but we have lots more in development. So when those come out, they will all continue to work the same way. So try it out, and thanks for watching.